Welcome to the unit on one of the most important aspect of marketing, that is fashion product. A product for many is a physical thing, but in marketing we have product means wider connotation, and that is what is the basis of many businesses. The product realizes commercial objectives for a company, and physical and psychological needs are met through products for the consumer. So, a product is the most important part of marketing. So, let us discuss in detail about this in this unit. The modules covered in this unit are: the module 1 defines the product, service and brand. The module 2 discusses various types of fashion or apparel products. The module 3 discusses what is product mix and how it operates in the apparel industry, and also discusses about levels of products. The module 4 discusses the crucial aspects of product, that is product life cycle. And since we are discussing about the apparel marketing, we also will discuss about fashion life cycle and its stages. The module 5 deals with new product development process. As you all know, if a product is to be developed, every industry has its own way of developing new product. So, we will discuss the apparel product development process along with the new product development process. The module 6 gives you some of the examples derived from the apparel industry about typical fashion products. The module 7 tells you to study of some of the products offered by a brand or apparel store by visiting the store and trying to understand and applying the concept. So, this module 7 is a self study which is to be done by the student or the learner. Let us start unit 5 with the objectives. By the end of this unit, students or the learners will be able to define product and service, review various types of fashion products that are available, and clearly demarcate the levels of products. Examine the product mix, what it is, and again the levels of products. Outline the stages in the product life cycle and fashion life cycle. Review the new product development process and how new products are developed actually. The most important is studying how new products are developed with respect to apparel product development. And also, the students should be able to review examples or cases on typical fashion products and understand the concept of fashion products through these examples and cases. Let's start with module 1, which deals with the definition of product, service and brand. The first module begins by defining product and service. We will also discuss how products and services are classified and discuss the features of various products such as consumer products, convenience products, shopping products, specialty products, unsought products and industrial products. We will then move on to discuss the importance of branding and analyze strategies that will help build and establish a brand. You will also get an understanding of the advantages of co-branding and understand the enormous powers of brand equity. We will then move on to look at product category in detail and examine the role of line extensions, brand extensions, multi-brands and new brands as part of branding strategy. Finally, we will examine the importance of packaging in adding value to a product. Let's start with module 1, which discusses and defines what a product is, what is a service, how product and service are different, and also a crucial aspect of product, that is brand. Now let us discuss the product and service definition. An earnest marketer understands the importance of starting with the definition of the product to understand the concept of product. Hitherto, despite this fundamental proposition, many companies fail to define their products distinctly. Traditionally and comfortably, a product is more often than not defined merely in terms of their tangible attributes. Example, size, weight, color, physical appearance and materials used, etc. In the era of oligopoly market scenario, this constricted definition would far be considered short-sighted and probably misrepresentative, because consumers are invariably favorably disposed to the advantages derived from or associated with the physical material. Thus, a marketer must endeavor to satisfy the consumers in flexible and wider context. If the conventional norm of considering a product with mere tangible properties were to be regarded true, then the diamond industry would completely defy that norm. Considering the industry where the product, this diamond, is viewed beyond its tangible properties to a creation that symbolizes romance, luxury and commitment. Primarily, a product contains both explicit and implicit characteristics, thus yielding explicit and implicit benefits or performances. The product's explicit characteristics are visible since they are representative of physical elements, consequently providing conventional or albeit imperfect definition of product. Say for example, the explicit characteristics of the product are, as discussed, size, color, brand, packaging, etc. Whereas the implicit characteristics of the product, say for example a fruit. A fruit is known mostly by the implicit characteristics like the smell, the odor, the taste, etc. So, we have to distinguish clearly what are the explicit factors, what are the implicit factors which constitutes a product. We can substantiate this explanation still further. For instance, Sony knowingly underlines the brand's implicit aspects by proclaiming it's Sony. So, the best. After all, Fab India, a renowned Indian textile, apparel, accessories and home products brand, connects craftsmanship from rural India to modern urban markets, echoing the Indian soul. So, we are now ready for a definition that is useful to marketers. The definition says, a product is a set of tangible and intangible attributes which may include packaging, color, price, quality and brand plus the seller's services and reputation. All this forms part of the product. The other definition looks at it differently. A product may be a good, service, place, person or idea. So, the definition says a product can also be a service. It also can be a place. The place like Kerala, God's own country. The state government of Kerala promotes the state or markets the product called Kerala, or Taj Mahal, or Charminar. Now, the places are also part of the products which can be marketed. Similarly, the persons. In most of the elections, you might be seeing the persons are marketed like a product. Now, all the strategies of marketing are applied to the person in marketing him as president or prime minister. Similarly, even the ideas. There is a saying, big idea, big money. The windows or 10 pockets for a trouser. These are all ideas which would make the product even more better products. So, the definition of product rightly includes all, that is service, persons, places, idea as part of the product. Now, let us look at another definition. This definition looks at the product as anything that can be offered to a market for attention, acquisition, use or consumption that might satisfy a want or need. This definition talks of a product need not be always bought. A new product that is introduced would be marketed for attention initially. So, the definition rightly says even it may not get sold, even if it gets attention or interest, people might buy later. So, a product that attracts attention or interest is also a product. And this definition rightly discusses that many times the objective of making the product is for making people to buy or consume. The products that are made at home which are not marketed for the business purpose is not a product. Since we are discussing from the business and marketing perspective, the products which we make at home are not sold or acquired or consumed, or technically, commercially, from the marketing point of view, they are not products. The next, the continuation of the product definition says it should satisfy the need or want. As we were discussing in the beginning itself, nobody ever buys anything including product if it does not satisfy his need or want. If I am not hungry or I am full of my stomach, even good laddus are offered, good sweets are offered, I will not buy because there is no need for me to eat now. So for me, they are not products. So the primary purpose of the product is to fulfill the need or want of a consumer. Then only he considers it as a product and buys. Hence the definition deals excellently the commercial aspect of the product. Now in continuation, the products include more than just tangible objects such as cars, computers or cell phones, but it also includes services, events, persons, places, organizations, ideas or mix of these to be qualified as a product. Thus, an Apple iPhone is a product. So also is a trip to Appmr in Delhi is also a product. The mystic of the Rolls-Royce was explained by the company's chief executive as our competition is yachts, private aircraft, second and third homes. It is not competition with another automobile, but competition with people's money. This was transcended by the company's sales and marketing director, who says we are not selling transportation. You buy a Rolls-Royce because you don't need it. You buy it because it is exclusive, different and because of its longevity and its Rolls-Royce. For a common customer, whenever he thinks of fashion product, it includes style, design, sizes, features, quality, warranty or guarantee, repairs and alterations. As we have discussed, nobody buys a garment just because it's a garment. Everybody in their wardrobe has minimum 10 onwards garments. Each time we buy, we look for a new design or a new color or new features or new styles. Along with that, what fits us, the sizes. We are very particular, particularly in the garments. We cannot wear a size which is one size above or one size below. One size above will look loose, one size below will be very tight. So, the sizes which are above and below my size is not a product for me. Apart from this, we will also look at the quality, the assortment that is there in the stores, the packaging, more importantly, the brand name. Some people are very particular about the brand. If that brand is not there, they will not buy even the product. Coupled with the alteration, facility, guarantees and repairs, what constitutes a product for many customers. Hence, a typical fashion marketer has to ensure and assure customer or consumer when he buys his product, he automatically gets all the elements of the product. Having understood the product, now let us understand service, which is again a product. Now what's service? As per Philip Kotler, any activity or benefit that one party can offer to another that is essentially intangible and does not result in the ownership of anything. So, this definition talks of two things, that is, it is an activity or benefit that one party can offer to another that is essentially intangible and does not result in the ownership of anything. For example, retailing, banking, telecommunications and airlines. Say for example, in retailing, there are many brands that a typical retailer will be selling. He hires a building, he rents some property, he takes the product from the manufacturer, he keeps in the store, and the buyer or the customer comes and takes that product away. So, in the process, the customer pays him some money, the retailer keeps some margin and gives the cost of the product to the manufacturer. What he does is facilitating the transactions. Without actually owning, he has transferred the ownership from the manufacturer to the customer. So, this is what and why retailing is considered as part of the service. So, going by the definition, we can say that the service characteristics are services intangibility, that is, it cannot be seen, felt, heard, smelled or tasted before it is bought. You will realize it later. Service inseparability, that is, it is produced and consumed at the same time and cannot be separated from the product and the service providers. I get service from Shopper Stop that is different from I get service from Lifestyle. So, the service provider and his service are inseparable. Because of this, there is a service variability, that is, the quality and level vary from provider to provider, person to person and situation to situation. Suppose you visit a retailer. So, from the time when you go in the morning, the service providers are also fresh, you will get very active service and support. Suppose you go in the evening before the store is getting closed. So, the service definitely will be different from what you would have got in the morning. Similarly, a consumer who is very regular or buys in bulk will get different treatment and service from the one who has just visited the store for the first time and is a small time buyer. The next characteristic of service is service perishability. That is, service cannot be stored for later sale or reuse. Hence, many companies tries to differentiate its services from competitors and manage higher level of quality standards so that people buy their services and only their services or continues to buy their services. So now let us understand clearly the product and service classification. Products and services fall into two broad categories based on the types of end users, consumer products and industrial products. Now let us understand this further. The consumer products. The consumer products are intended for personal consumption by households. These are goods and services produced for the end user for personal, family or household use. For example, a fashion apparel, wrist watches, refrigerator, etc. are common products only if bought for personal or family or household use. Consumer products can be further distinguished as convenience, shopping, specialty and unsought goods. Let us understand one by one. The convenience products. What are they? These are those purchased with a minimum of effort because the buyer has knowledge of the product and its characteristics prior to shopping. The consumer does not want to search for additional information because he has the product familiarity. For most buyers, convenience goods include many food items, laundry detergents, soft drinks, soaps and chocolates. Convenience products are usually placed in many locations in the store to make readily accessible for consumers during shopping. Now, let us discuss the next, shopping products. Shopping products are relatively less frequently purchased consumer products and services that consumers compare carefully on suitability, quality, price and style. The consumers usually lack sufficient information about product alternatives and their characteristics, and therefore must acquire further knowledge in order to make a purchase decision. The examples include furniture, clothing, budget hotel, and major appliances. Now let us talk about the next category, that is specialty products. This is a product for which a consumer is likely to have a strong brand preference and is willing to significant time and effort. He should be willing to spend significant time and effort in locating the desired brand. So, the products are expected to be more expensive than convenience products, and they are not purchased frequently. The consumers are willing to relinquish accessible substitutes. Buyers normally do not compare specialty products. However, they spend substantial time and effort in planning the purchase, that is, deciding on the brand and arranging for the relevant resources to buy the product. The examples include specific brands of cars, designer clothes, expensive jewelry, and photographic equipment. Now let us discuss the last of the category, that is unsought products. Unsought products are those the consumer does not know about or does not normally think of buying. The buyer is unaware of the existence of the product, or a product that the consumer is aware but does not normally consider buying. Most major innovations remain unsought until the brand is advertised and promoted by the firm. The classic examples of known but unsought products and services are life insurance, funeral services, and fire extinguishers. Now let us talk about another category, that is industrial products. The industrial products, also called as business goods, are those purchased for further processing or for use in conducting a business. Thus, the distinction between the industrial product and the consumer product is based on the purpose for which the product is bought. If a consumer buys a steam iron for use at home, the steam iron is a consumer product. If the same consumer buys the same steam iron for use in a garment manufacturing factory, the same steam iron is industrial product. So, that is the reason why we have to clearly distinguish about the consumer product and an industrial product. So, further dwelling on the industrial product, the three groups of industrial products and services include materials and parts, capital items, and supplies and services. Materials and parts include raw materials and manufactured materials and parts. The raw materials consist of goods found in their natural state, such as minerals, land, and products of forests and the seas. The manufactured materials and parts consist of component materials such as iron, yarn, cement, wires, and component parts are small motors, tires, and castings. Now, the natural cotton is the natural raw material, whereas the yarn is the manufactured one. So, invariably, most manufactured materials and parts are sold directly to the industrial users. The final group of industrial product is supplied and services, which include operating supplies, machinery, repair, and business advisory services, that is accounting and legal. These are all business advisory services. So, such services are usually supplied under contract. Hence, product and service exists at 3 levels. That is normal. Service and products exist at 3 levels. Those are core product, actual product, and augmented product. Now, let us understand how these differentiate. Core product. Core product is the one what a consumer really want to buy or is buying. It is the heart of all products consumer is buying. It could be core benefit or core service or a value or a core need for which he is buying. Hence, a customer buying Lux soap he is not buying the cake. What he is buying, the core is he is buying for beauty. He want to be beautiful or she want to be beautiful. And so also a customer buying fair and lovely cream is actually buying the fairness. The money what he is spending to buy is for fairness. So, the core benefit or core product what he is buying from the manufacturer is fairness. The rest is the things given by the manufacturer. So, what is the actual product? Then comes the actual product after the core. It is the actual product which is built around the core product, which normally consists of composition, materials, quality, design, styles, the features, the brand name and packaging. Now comes the outer, that is called as the augmented products. It is how the product value is enhanced by giving additional facilities or services like warranty or guarantee, alterations, installation, after sale service, door delivery, etc.